Welcome to Bay Focus. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, we hope you'll sit back for the next 30 minutes, grab your cup of coffee or whatever else you want to drink, and listen to what's going on here in the Tampa Bay, Central Florida area and throughout the state of Florida. Two ministries today. In a little while, we're going to introduce to some of you that may not know them. Longtime viewers will know them. Bikes for Christ, and they have an exciting back-to-school event that they're participating in. We'll share that in just a moment, but we're going to start today with a ministry that is new to us, but they're not new. They've been around for quite a while, and they are doing some amazing things in the foster care world, coming up with alternatives to foster care. A wonderful ministry called Better Together. And to explain all this for us today, we have Isis LaRose. She is the Vice President of Strategic Partnerships and Market Development for Better Together. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. You know, I think what's really great about having you representing Better Together is you have been immersed yourself personally in helping families, helping people that needed help to stay together as a family, but being a host family for those that needed it. And that hopefully just triggered interest in our viewers. What do you mean by host family? Better Together is a unique approach to help solving the foster care crisis. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so our main mission is really to come alongside families in crisis within our community by providing preventative and supportive services with the goal of keeping kids out of foster care and keeping families together really through the power of local community. We believe everyone can do something to help with the foster care crisis statewide. And
you do this, and it's what I want to explain. And in just a moment, we're going to share some video footage of some things they do. But before we do, you really, you're literally, people are coming to you. You're a nonprofit, you're private, you're not, but yet you're coordinating with the state and law enforcement, various people for referrals. But you're literally trying to come up with solutions to where children don't have to go into foster care. Why is that? What's the problem? What are some of the issues, particularly here in the Tampa Bay area?
Yeah. So our foster care system is so strained. And 80% of the kids that are going into the foster care system today are only going there because of lack of support. If they had a family, friend, aunt, uncle that could step in and care for their kids, they wouldn't have to do that. Particularly here in Hillsborough County is #1 for kids being removed and placed into foster care. So us as a community can step in and help care for those kids outside of the system before it gets to the point where the system needs to intervene.
Okay, so what does that look like? If somebody wants to help these kids, what does that look like? What are they taking on, and what does that work on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so it's volunteer host families that we recruit directly from churches in the community that are willing to open up their homes temporarily to care for kids in the community. And so this can range anywhere from 24 hours to 90 days, but we're flexible in that. So if there's a family that needs 8 months or 9 months or 12 months, under a year, we're able to step in and help support their families by caring for their children while we have family support managers on our team that are walking alongside the families every step of the way and guiding them in accomplishing their goals so that we can successfully reunite as soon as possible.
Okay, so you're while these children are with a host family, you're doing some work.
Right.
You're doing some things, and part of this is trying to get the families financially sound too. Trying to get if they can't, they're struggling with finances and various things. You said you have a variety of people that come alongside, so I'm thinking you diagnose the issues and then you place people with them, right?
Right, so there's a multitude of different reasons why families come to us. It could be homelessness, it could be something as a single parent having a medical emergency that just needs care for the child for 24 hours. It could be addiction, it could be mental health. All reasons that kids end up in that foster care system simply because they don't have the support of someone to step in. And so we have volunteer mentors that will come alongside them and help them put their goals on paper. Many of the families that we come in contact with, they know what they need to do. They just don't know what they don't know. They don't know where to start. And so those mentors, with the support of our team, will help them put together a plan on what they need to do in order to keep their families together while we have these volunteer host families that are generously opening up their home to care for their kids. So the parents have the opportunity to do that in a very quick amount of time because they have the support of someone stepping in.
Yeah, so that is how you can keep some of the time from these kids, and the parents are voluntarily they're not being pulled from the home. The parents are agreeing for the children to be taken. That's a big thing.
It's a very big thing. So these are families that are voluntarily choosing to utilize this service because they know that they need the help and the support of the community. So they're not losing custody of their kids while they're placed with us. It's more of a co-parenting relationship that we're developing between the placing families and our volunteer host families. And so they have contact with their kids on a weekly basis. They can see them. They can even take them overnight if they have a safe place to go. And in the meantime, they can call every night, check on their kids, FaceTime. And really, our average stay of a child being placed in our volunteer host family is just 45 days. So the majority of the situations that we're seeing are very short term. And if we can have the community step in a short term way, that makes such a huge difference in the lives of the families that we're serving. One night, 24 hours, 48 hours can really mean the difference between a family staying together and a child being placed in foster care for an average of 18 months.
Yeah. Wow. What a difference. What a difference. And you definitely have allies within the, social services networks that want to see this option. It's really groundbreaking. You are, one of the things, your state of Florida, you do these host families. You do this for throughout the state of Florida. You are, I think it's important to say, you are Fort Myers, Naples based, Naples, correct?
Mm-hmm, yes.
But you are really trying to get into Tampa Bay because Hillsborough County in particular has such high numbers and different things. So you have a presence here as well. So throughout the state. One of the things you do, and we're going to show some footage now, and you're going to tell us what we're seeing, and you're going to see a cool event in this footage too that I want you to talk to. So tell us what we're seeing.
This is one of our families that we've served over in the Marion County area with her boys and her kids. This is a volunteer host family that's caring for a baby for a mama that needed to seek treatment for addiction. This is a volunteer host family caring for a few kids while their mom worked to get into housing.
Love that.
And this is one of our nationwide Day of Second Chances. So every year we have a nationwide Day of Second Chances where multiple churches across the state and the nation participate in putting on a background-friendly event where people in the community can get employment opportunities. And this is Gavin. He is one of our job seekers that was able to get a job at one of our job fairs.
I love that. These are some of the corporate partners too that do this.
Yes, and this is a volunteer host family alongside mom who she helped during a 90-day period while she worked to get into housing. And this is a really cool story. So Abby is now married. She has her own home. This is one of our job seekers ringing a bell and celebrating the fact that they were able to get employment that day. So a lot of our job fairs, they hire on the spot. So they're able to get jobs that day.
I was just going to ask that day they get. Wow. So when we're looking at this with the job fair, and there's people watching the show today, so there can be corporate partners that can come alongside too?
Absolutely. So our job fairs consist of employer partners. We need jobs in order to put on these job fairs. And so these are employers that not only are willing to extend second chances, but also just our job fairs, anyone can come to them. And so we have people that are retired that need reemployment. We have people that are underemployed that need better jobs in order to just be able to successfully keep their homes and put food on their table. And so really anyone who in the community that's interested in or coming into one of our job fairs and extending job opportunities is always welcome.
Okay, now you said that the job fair part of what you do is nationwide. Where are you? You go into a number of states, right?
Yeah, so our Better Jobs program is nationwide. We're in 23 states with a high focus here in Florida because this is where we're serving families and keeping kids out of foster care. And so we're pretty much throughout the entire state of Florida with our Better Jobs program. And then that Better Families program is focused on 48 counties currently. But the hope is to be in all 67 counties within the next 2 years.
Oh, wow. I love this. All right. You're a ministry as well. It's really important because you're really partnering with churches. What are you encountering and how are you helping people on that front? Somebody comes to you, you're dealing with families, you're dealing with job fairs. How does the ministry side work?
Yeah, so we can't do what we do without our church partners. It's really the backbone of what we do. Our vision is the families that we're serving is that they're plugged in and getting connected to our churches, to our church partners in the area so that they can be successful long term. We see it as the church doing what we were doing back in the day, but we've come so far away from that. And so it's the community caring for their own, caring for people in their own backyard that need help. And so we ask that they allow us to come in and share the different ways that the congregation can get involved. And that's how we recruit our volunteers. And then we vet them on our end. And then we're also a resource to the churches that we're serving too. A lot of these churches have benevolence funds and they're paying for a bill or a electric bill or something of the sort. But our goal is for them to connect them to us so that we can connect them to a mentor so we can address the root cause of what led them to ask for financial assistance in that moment so that they're not continuously coming back to that church. And then our Better Jobs program, Our job fairs, we partner with churches to equip them with a job fair ministry. And so our job fairs are held at churches.
I love that.
Yeah, the majority of those families have never stepped foot in a church. So what better way to get them plugged in?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. And have your church volunteers and staff there, which brings me to the thing, you need volunteers. Tell us what's needed.
So we can't do what we do without our volunteers either. So volunteer host families that can welcome children into their home short term, mentors that can come alongside families that maybe not necessarily need us to care for their kids, but they need help getting plugged in, coming up with a plan, job coaches who can help with resume and interview skills, and then resource volunteers. Everyone can do something. Maybe you can't open up your home to care for a child, but you can drop off a lasagna to someone that's caring for a child in their home.
I love that. What a wonderful idea. And Isis, I want to give you a chance just briefly. We just are down to our last couple minutes. You have lived this. Tell us how you and your family have participated.
Absolutely. So I have 2 kids. They're 14 and 11. We started when they were 4 and 7, and we've hosted 26 kids in our own home. So this isn't just a job for me. It's really a passion, and I've firsthand been able to see the difference that this organization has been able to make an impact for so many families, but there's so much more work to do. And so we can't do it without more people stepping up and being willing to open up their homes to do the same.
I can't, think of a better way to talk about even with your own children, having your children at home, then bringing in all these children that need. What an incredible life experience. What a way to think beyond just your own world, what's out there needed. Thank you so much, Isis, for coming on and sharing this. I want to encourage you to partner with Better Together. Periodically on Bay Focus, this has been a passion of mine to talk about foster care, to get Christians, churches, the body of Christ involved in this. So over the years of doing this show, we have brought you different ways. This is one of the most unique approaches I have ever seen, to where they're literally trying to keep children from going into the foster care system at all, and we keep families reunited that just need a leg up, that just need some extra help. So if you can support them, partner with them in any way, I know it would be greatly appreciated. And on the screen, you're going to see information how you can contact them, Better Together, and we will be right back with more of Bay Focus.
We want to hear from you. Is there an event happening in the Tampa Bay area, or an organization helping the local community? If you have answers, let us know. Email us at darleneg@ctnonline.com. Find us online at ctnonline.com/bayfocus, or follow us on Facebook at Bay Focus TV.
Well, we're back, and we're going to share with you another ministry that is known to us here at Bay Focus over the years. They got some exciting things happening, maybe new to you. It's called Bikes for Christ. And that's exactly what it is. It's a ministry providing bikes. And we have the president and founder with us, Pat Simmons. And this time, Pat brought with him one of his key staff members, Corky Stern. Welcome, Corky and Pat.
Thank you.
And do I say Corky and Pat, or Pat and Corky?
It's totally up to you.
They are both such great sounding names. Can I just say they go well together? I just love it. And I know I love fun names. So great to have you today, Corky. But Pat, for people that don't know what Bikes for Christ is, to start with, we're going to share with a really amazing event you're doing coming up. But what is Bikes for Christ? What do you do?
What we do is we provide transportation to organizations that work directly with people in need. So let's say a case manager at Metropolitan Ministries is working with somebody they feel is really trying to take steps to improve their life. They place an order with us for a bicycle to help that person get a job or get back and forth to a job or doctor's appointments, something like that. With every bike that we send out, we also give a Gospel of John or a plan of salvation, because we want that person to come to know Christ if they don't already.
Yeah, one of the things too, I want to brag on you some, and there's no way I'm going to list them all. I bet you could off the top of your head. All kinds of awards Bikes for Christ has received from local civic organizations, chambers of commerce, etc. They just do such an amazing community work. So, definitely proud of you all for that. And you have, before we talk to you, Corky, how do you get the bikes? I mean, where do they come from? You partner with organizations. Can anybody donate a bike, or how does that work?
Yeah, anybody can donate a bike, and it's all donations. So most of the bikes that we get, almost all the bikes that we get, are used bikes, so they need some type of work. So we, in fact, have a brand new building that we just built.
Yes, that's great.
We've got a new structure. It still needs a lot done, but we've got the structure. We're getting moved into that. But yeah, all the bikes are donations, and
They need to be probably...
We want rideable or close to rideable. That way it takes less time and money to fix it, and we can get it out quicker to the person in need.
Okay. All right. That's an important part to mention. And then Corky, tell us what you do with Bikes for Christ.
Well, I'm the representative in Pinellas County. I work a lot of events in Pinellas County, different markets or fairs or wherever we can set up a table and promote the ministry and what we do. As this weekend, we're doing the home show in St. Petersburg, but I belong to the Tampa Bay Beaches Chamber of Commerce, representing Bikes for Christ, and I help promote the ministry and in the local area.
I love that. So and you guys are out there. I mean, you're out to a lot of different events, a lot of different things that you do. And then Corky, why do you do this? This is time consuming. Why is this important to you?
I had been seeking opportunities to get involved in ministry, because I believe the Lord wants all of us to be involved in some type of ministry. And I met Pat about 2.5 years ago, and I said I really liked what he was doing. His heart for the people in need. I have a heart for people in need. I try to minister that way also. But providing transportation for people that need it, that was really, I'm a cyclist, not as avid as he is, but I am a cyclist. And so trying to get transportation to people that need a ride to work or need to look for a job or whatever, children, homeless people, whatever. So I saw that need, and I thought this would be a good way to serve the Lord too.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I love stories like that, because it's just, when people are looking for ministry, they just see the need. They go, where can I plug in? Where can I make a difference? Well, one thing that's everybody's kind of thinking of right now, this time of year, it's getting close to back to school time, and I'm sure a lot of families are organizing for that, but there's always a need also too for school supplies, etc. There's an event coming up. Tell us about it, Pat. It's called Backpack Hero, a back to school event, and you are part of the organizational team behind this. Tell us about what this is.
So about 2.5 years ago is when we were in a resource meeting in East Hillsborough County, and this was floated around about having this event. And so we're one of the organizations that's been on board since the beginning. Us, Hope for Her, and Echo, all based out of the East Hillsborough County area. And we first put this on 2 years ago at Bay Life Church, and it was just a big success. We did it again last year. It was a bigger success. So this year we're going to have it again on the campus of Bay Life Church, but we're also going to have a second event in Riverview at Advent Health that they're getting ready to open up down there.
Okay, give us, and while we're talking, we're going to show you, this is an actual, families that need this, they can register and come and receive Is it backpacks loaded with supplies?
The backpacks are already loaded with supplies, depending on whether you're a boy or a girl, and they can come and get those. But not only can they come and get those, they can come, and we're going to have a lot of different resources from the community there as well. So if the families are in need of something, whether we're Bikes for Christ, we're going to be doing bicycle raffles. So we're going to have 5 bikes at each event that we'll be raffling off to people. But there's going to be all types of services offered at these 2 events for people in need. So
there'll be various organizations represented and there that families could come and talk get with.
Correct.
And I think there's even some that are providing food, right? I mean,
Yes.
you got, it's like an,
Yep.
it's an
Yeah,
event.
we're gonna have food
Yeah.
at the event and everything, and we're gonna have to-go boxes of food as well.
Okay. All right. So give us the dates again, the
Okay.
location, how people can
So
register.
in Brandon, it's Bay Life Church, and that's going to be on the 27th. And then the following weekend, it's going to be August 3rd at Advent Health in Riverview. To register, you would just go to bphero.org, and it gives you several different locations that you can register at and get signed up to have your children there.
Okay, so they will need to go to a location to
Correct.
register.
Correct.
All right, so it is, and when the Bay Focus is airing, we're airing this program here very close to the dates of these events. So I would strongly encourage you, if this is something you want to get involved in, that you need to register now. I believe you would, at this juncture here in July, you would already have all the supplies you need, correct? Or not? Can people still contribute to that?
They can still contribute, because even if we don't end up using them for this event, we will make sure that they go to organizations and the kids
Oh,
will
that's
get
good to
those
know.
supplies, like Title I schools. We're going to focus on those. So anything we have left over, we're going to send out to them.
Is there a particular, and I hope I'm not throwing you a curve here, particular supplies you're looking for? I know they're gender specific, but there's something just needed for school. I mean, and is there a list somewhere people could find what they could
I
purchase?
believe the list is on the website,
BP
but
Hero.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
bphero.org.
Either way, they can contact
They can reach out through our
there
website.
and ask
Absolutely.
what's needed.
Yeah, and we need volunteers as well.
Oh, that's good to say. Okay.
Absolutely. We need volunteers to help out with these events. It takes a lot of people to pull off an event like this.
Oh my goodness.
Especially two of them.
Yeah, and this is strictly, I want to bring that, this is strictly for East Hillsborough.
Correct.
So does there need to be some proof in people coming that they're residents of
It
that area?
depends on where they sign up. So I know one of our organizations, you have to fall within their zip code, but another one of those organizations they can sign up with, you don't specifically have to fall within that zip code. So
Yeah.
it's up to each organization that's doing the sign up.
Okay. But this is an undertaking just for East Hillsborough to do this. I mean, just to be able to cover so many of the families needed there. And I think one of the cool things too is church hosting, which try to get, I know there's different times over the years, churches partner with organizations to do this. But I hadn't seen as much of it in the last few years. I'm really thrilled to see this happening this year, doing this. All right, so we know our people that you're partnering with all these other organizations and doing this. I want to get back to Bikes for Christ a little bit here too. When you both are involved in this and both in doing this, what has been some of the reaction to people? I mean, do you have a way to stay, not only initially when they receive the bike or whatever, but is there a way to see, how this is changing lives, a way to stay connected with some people?
Well, the biggest way that we see this is through the pictures and the stories that we ask for from the case managers, that they send us back those.
Yeah.
So we're able to share them, because our work is in the background.
Yeah.
We're not like a feeding ministry that,
Yeah.
people are out front, you get to see. So our work's in the background. So we have to have those pictures. We have to have those stories to be able to share those, to do our fundraising and show the work that we're doing. Every now and then, we do get some long-term stories back, but it's not that often. One that I do like to share is the fact of these two girls that were going to school at college at HCC in Plant City, and they had bicycles. They were both here. They were foreign exchange students, and they had bicycles, but the bicycles both broke. Something went wrong with them. So orders were placed for new bicycles with us. So I was the one that delivered those bicycles that day. And when I dropped them off, I wanted to find out how far they were from the college. They're in Plant City, and they were 4 miles each way. So these bicycles, you can imagine, helped them dramatically get back and forth. And the great part about that is that I ended up getting feedback after they graduated. So they both became veterinarians. One of the girls decided to keep her bicycle, but the other one decided to donate it back to us. We were able to refurbish it a second time and send it back out to somebody else in need.
I love that. Oh my gosh, that's a full circle.
Yeah.
What a great full circle
Yep.
story. I love it. What you're doing is so important. And then Cork, we're down to our last couple minutes, but I think you probably have a lot of interaction with people too when you go out in the community.
Well, that's true. I have helped a couple of people get bicycles, and it's
Yeah.
rewarding to see them get their bicycle. But the other thing is, even when we're doing events and helping promote the ministry, we still run into people that don't know anything about the ministry. So we're trying to increase the awareness. Not only that, but I've had opportunities to pray with people while we're setting up the
I was
events.
hoping that. Yeah.
And that's always a big blessing too.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I mean, people will, if you just reach out and say, "Can I pray with you? What do you have a need?" That we could pray with when you're out at these events. All right. And in our last couple moments here, how can our viewers connect again with this backpack event and help Bikes for Christ?
Okay, so with the Backpack Hero event, again, that's bphero.org. You can go there, find out where you need to register. If you want to volunteer, you can reach out through that site as well. And then for Bikes for Christ, just Google Bikes for Christ. It should come up, but it's bikes, BIKES, the number 4, Christ.com.
Okay. All right. Thank
can
you
find
both
us.
so much for coming on, and stay tuned on the screen. You're going to see some of this information again that we just talked about, and the contact information in particular for Bikes for Christ. And then we want you to connect with the Backpack Hero event as well. We'll be right back with more Faith Focus. Stay tuned. Well, I hope you'll get involved in these events here coming up with the Backpack Hero and support Bikes for Christ. But also earlier in the show, we talked with Better Together. Wow, what an incredible ministry providing an alternative to foster care for families. I love it. And I want to encourage you to contact us here at Bay Focus. I want to hear from you. You're going to be seeing on the screen how you can contact us. I'm so grateful that you tune in each week. Share the show where you can on all of our social media sites as well. Have a great week. See you next week. God bless.